welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Malena and today we are going to talk about a book. So I'm going to present to you a book which is called Born to Receive. It is written by Amanda Owen and it is basically a book about receiving, about feminine energy, because receiving is a main aspect of feminine energy, and also it's about developing the art of receiving. So I really like this book because it is very, very deep and very also kind of spiritual, inspirational. So it is about receiving, but it's not like just receiving in the sense of receiving gifts or receiving feelings or attention. It's really about the deeper aspect of receiving, because receiving is not only getting something, it is also feeling, senses, etc. And this book really describes all of those aspects and how to develop them, meaning how to get more into your feminine energy, how to get more into this receiving energy, especially when you are, for example, a woman who would like to discover or would like to develop her feminine side and her feminine energy. I will now tell you a little bit about the content of the book and then also read maybe some passages, just a few, so that you know more or less if you'd like to purchase this book. The subtitle of the book is 7 Steps Women Can Take Today to Reclaim Their Half of the Universe. Of course, the author assumes that many women have kind of unlearned the art of receiving, or maybe have gotten too much into today's very masculine energy world. So this book gives you 7 steps combined with several exercises you can do, and also combined with some stories of other women to somehow reclaim this art of receiving. So we have part 1, which is about what are receptives actually. Receptives are here described as actions that you perform in the feminine energy. So I will give you an example or some examples of receptivities. Receiving is, for example, also relaxing. So relaxing is a fully receptive state, and to practice it or to do it would be, for example, soaking in a hot bath. So that's a receptivity. Then another receptive state would be appreciating. So appreciating could be sitting on a bench in the backyard and watching a bird or watching a beautiful garden. Well, then let's continue with the second part. So the second part 2, is called 7 Steps to Reclaim Your Half of the Universe. And now the author gives us instructions like step 1, step 2, step 3. So for example, step 1 would be pay attention to your feelings and trust your intuition. Step 2 would be know what you want. And to all those steps, step 3, ask for help if needed and accept it. Be grateful, say thank you, create full reciprocity in your relationships. Don't put yourself last. Step 7, be respectful of your past and have a vision for your future, but live in the moment. I have marked some examples from the book for each step. There is one really good advice in the second one, which is called receive everything, decide later. So oftentimes feelings arise in us. This can be feelings of fear, feelings of worry, but also other feelings. We maybe tend to immediately react to those feelings, but the author here suggests to just receive the feelings and not react immediately, and not decide what to do immediately, not feel pressured. So it's really about just allowing the feeling to be and just feel it, but decide later. So I think this was a really a very inspirational thing. You can receive feelings without justifying them, without explaining them, without having an opinion about them, and without knowing what to do with them. Actually, it is possible, and this a good example of handling sometimes overwhelming feelings. So receive everything, decide later. Well, another example here would be ask for help and accept it. The author strongly advises us women to say what we want. There are exercises that just help you to, if you are not familiar with saying what you want, just exercise saying what you want. And I think this is a really nice exercise. Step 4, it's about being grateful and saying thank you. So when you are receiving, not only receiving materialistic things, receiving spiritual things, just be grateful, not take everything for granted. This way you can also recharge your batteries, and it's a very feminine activity. Being grateful when you're watching a colorful sunset, when you spend time with people who care about you, when you do something like a good deed, or when you hear a funny joke, when you listen to beautiful music. Those are all situations that energize you a lot. And this appreciation is what counts. You appreciate, you notice, you acknowledge people, animals, plants, objects in your environment. And all of this is appreciation, and all of this is a receiving and receptive state, which encourages and develops your feminine energy. Step 5 is about creating full reciprocity in your relationships. So this chapter is more about relationships and different kinds of relationships, healthy and unhealthy ones. Especially it's about reciprocity, and gives examples about how a healthy relationship, not only a partnership but also relationship with friends, etc., should look like. So it should be a good flow in moving energy, especially in a conversation, like listening and talking, etc. And now step 6, which is don't put yourself last, or you won't last. So yeah, it's about saying no, being able to say no. In this chapter there is lots of personal stories, and there are some situations when you may have said something but people paid no attention, for example. Those situations could be asking your spouse to help with housework, asking your boss for relief from too much work, asking a neighbor to keep the music down in the evening. So when people don't listen to you, what do you do? Do you give up and do it yourself? Or do you think it isn't worth to keep bringing up the same thing over and over? Do you feel angry or resentful? Does your stress level go up? Do you do anything of the following? Ruminate, overthink, worry, complain, obsess, or cry? So there are some results of conflict avoidance and of giving up. Then there are coping mechanisms that you might employ that are not healthy, like eating too much, eating too little, drink or shop. And then, of course, solutions to this, delegating, etc. And how to do that, examples for how to ask for help for what you want, some ideas on how to avoid those unhealthy feelings or this unhealthy energy. And the last part is step 7, and it's called be respectful of your past, have a vision for your future, but live in the moment. You always hear this live in the moment meme, and It's easy said, but it's difficult to do. So what does living in the moment mean, and how can you really do that? How can you trying to live in the moment and being in your feminine energy? In the end of this book, there is a circle here. So in this circle, there are lots of activities that you can do. Exercise living in the moment. And also they are receptive and feminine activities. So I will tell you just some examples of this big circle, as it is called. Listen, soak in a bathtub, pet your cat, read a book, admire flowers, watch, nap, relax, sit in the sun, paint, attract, watch clouds, taste chocolate, feed the ducks, go for a walk, do yoga, count sheep, spend time in nature, get a massage, watch a sunset, embrace, allow, notice, sit quietly, knit, unwind, reveal, breathe. So those are just some examples of those receptive activities, and if you perform them in an intensive way, you are living in the moment. So that was it. In the end of the book, there is a really nice summary of each chapter of the exercises, the receive exercises. And then in the very end, there is another list of receptivities, activities that you can do to practice feminine energy and to practice receiving. And some of them I already read to you that were in the big circle, but there are also others, like write in a gratitude journal, enjoy a cup of tea, lie on the beach, hold hands, taste delicious foods, use aromatherapy, watch nature scenes on your computer, tablet or phone, draw, look at water, ocean, river, lake or a pond. There is a lot of things that you can do, and maybe many of them you already did, but maybe you haven't done them very consciously. For example, when you drink a cup of tea, taste it very, very much. Try to find all the tastes that you are tasting in this tea. Try to feel the cup. How does the material feel like? How does it lie in your hand? Is it heavy or light? And then the smell. How does the tea smell? Feel the warmness of the vapor coming of the tea. And then just concentrate totally on this tea, how you drink it with all your senses. Look at it. How does the water reflect in the teacup? You can really involve all of your senses just by doing an activity like drinking a cup of tea. And this is what the author basically means, receiving. So if you involve all of your senses in this activity, you will, first of all, you will be so much involved with your senses that you will live in the moment, because it's impossible to think about something else when you are almost meditating on this cup of tea. And this can be a really, really nice exercise, being in the moment and receiving, and in the end, feminine energy. So maybe you can find more of those examples and activities. Maybe you have some ideas, just leave me a comment down below. And if you are interested in this book and would like to read it in total, I will link it down below. If you like this video and my little tips, just give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more about feminine energy, also leave me a comment and subscribe to my channel, because for sure we are going to see us again.